right, good. Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me all right? Feeling good? See the screen all right? Everything clear? It's good? All right, cool. Welcome all. Thank you for coming today. I am John Schleicher. I am a front-end developer with the oh-so-fabulous consulting organization Acumen Solutions. And I have the honor today to present to you static resources made easy. Some quick plugs real quick. If you haven't checked it out already, the Acumen Solutions booth is wonderful. We got a large booth, break room of the future, coffee station, Mario Kart, a VR relaxation experience. It's a great spot to check out. Also, too, tomorrow between 11 and 1, a gentleman by the name of NerdForce John is his Twitter handle. Him and his cohorts are going to host a Dreamforce-themed D&D Extra Life event. So a great event for a great cause. Tomorrow's going to be at the Marriott Marquis, second floor, I believe. So if you got time, check it out. I'll be there. I'll be a little late, but I will be there for sure. All right, so let's get to it. Quick agenda. Good old days of static resources. Basically today, what we got going on. We're then going to talk about the new way, go through the demo, and talk about some of the advantages of what we experienced during the demo. And then we will conclude with some Q&A. So, all right, let's get to it. Static resources today. As a front-end developer, static resources are essentially the lifeblood for us to do front-end development on the Salesforce org. Now, this is kind of changing, of course, with Lightning, but still we're going to rely on static resources here and there. One of my favorite things about static resources is the ability to zip up an entire directory structure and put it onto the org, so you can create a sensible, predictable directory structure, and for someone like coming new to the project, can pick up and go right from the start. So, but also introduces some challenges for us on the front-end side. Our first challenge, creating and editing static resources. If we are talking about the raw, straight through the org, creating and editing static resources, we have to go into the org. We have to create a new static resource, name it, find our directory structure that we want to zip up, throw it up there, and then refresh the page, and hopefully everything works. We also have great IDEs today that we can handle a lot of the zipping and unzipping for us, but there's still a little delay, a couple seconds, depending on how big your org is or how fast your connection is. And then you got to refresh the page, get back to where you were, and see if those updates were applied. A few more challenges. UI debugging. We are heavily dependent upon the debugger tools, the browser tools in Chrome, to see what our updates are actually doing. What's unfortunate about that, we still have to take those different changes, take them to our files, save them, and then see if they still work. But what if you're an IE? What if you got to make some CSS JavaScript updates in IE? How are you going to debug that? Next challenge, collaborative development. It is not an ideal scenario, but sometimes you'll have multiple developers in the same org working on closely related files. It's pretty tough, it's pretty frustrating, and eventually you're going to come to a deadlock where one person needs this, one person needs that, and very frustrating experience. So with those in mind, we'll talk about the new way. Static resources made easy. And that's all for that slide. What do we need? We need our Salesforce org. We need to be familiar with our front-end core, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node.js, NPM, Webpack with Webpack Dev Server. If you're not familiar with those different tools and terms, I highly recommend you introduce yourself to them. They are huge for the front-end side. They're ever growing, ever being used. More and more people are using them, creating tools, creating plugins. It's a great, great piece of work, great community to get into. So, and also some innovative thinking. You're going to have different problems you're going to come across, and with this setup that we're going to show you in this library we've been working on, it really gives you a platform to kind of take on anything that comes across your way. All right, the demo. You guys feeling good? Feeling great? Wonderful. So before I go into the demo, quick context. It is a basic Visualforce page, a single-page application. It's got 2 sliders. It's some inputs, super, super simple, some bootstrap styling. And then what we're going to have, we're going to have a static resource that's already deployed to our org. And it's going to have some styling, some console logs. And then we're also going to have an exact mirror image of those static resources in a local directory that we're going to serve up through a Node.js server. So when we kill the developer mode, or the org mode, and go to developer mode, we should see us lose styles. And then once we turn our developer mode on and refresh the page, we're going to see everything else come back. And this is going to be handled through an Apex variable in the Visualforce page. So here we go. There's our page. There's our little console. We are in the demo. And then we're going to a visual force page here. This is our apex variable. We're set to false right now. So it's kind of funky styles right here. It's just a little scooch over a little bit. That's it. That's all she is. And then now, let's get to the fun stuff. We're going to switch over to developer mode. True. Save it. Seems to be saving all right. So now, and make sure I got the right step here. We should refresh because it's no longer pointing to our static resource. We're going to lose our styles. And we're also going to see a connection issue where we are trying to point our styles to. That app.bundle.js file, that is something that Webpack has put together for us in our configuration. We point to styles and CSS files that we want to shoot out into this app.bundle.js file. It's going to be a module that's going to help us apply all of our CSS and JavaScript changes. And so right now, we have our developer mode running, but we don't have any developer server going. So now we got to run to the terminal, do a quick script command here that we defined ourselves, dev. And that's going to get our local server going. And there she is. Pretty cool. And if I refresh the page now, we should see all of our styles come back. There they are. Cool. So what you also see here is these little tags, HMR. And WDS. WDS is Webpack Dev Server. HMR is Hot Module Reloading. Those are like the foundations of what is going to be a lot of the magic you're going to see here today. So with those running, we can now go into our integration tool, or IDE, and be like, hey, I don't want this crazy right alignment styles, and this gray is pretty gloomy. Let's see if we can do something about that. Now, we know the process of what we go through to the normal static resources. You make some changes, go back to the page, refresh. Looks good. So it's pretty simple for this dumbed-down app, but things can get a little more complicated in an enterprise application. So I'm going to go over to our demo style CSS. Gray, don't worry about that important tag, just to override some bootstrap stuff. I'm going to lighten things up with a light green. Tone down these giant labels. And then let's fix this alignment. We'll go left. I'm going to save those. Boom. Instantaneous results. So you're not worried anymore about going to the org, making updates in the IDE. You're seeing everything right there and then when you're making changes. We can even do JavaScript. If I come to our JavaScript file, uncomment that. Oh, uncomment that. Right away. We are in the demo with development mode on. So it's pretty powerful stuff, pretty cool stuff. It should make your development process incredibly more efficient. But that's not all. So with Webpack, you can bring in all these different plugins, all these different tools. And this last tool we have is called it's a Webpack Salesforce plugin right on the Node Package Manager library. And we can actually come back here, shut this bad boy down, and run another command that's actually going to take our files that we're pointing to and deploy to that same static resource that we were using before. So npm run dev deploy. I'm going to fire up. Deploy is true. We're actually still running. So what we now need to do is go back to our org mode. Head over to false. And it is saved. So now, shall refresh again. And now we got both logs in there, but you'll see the hot module reloading the Webpack dev server is no longer there. So we have actually handled our static resource updates without even touching the org. So it's a huge, huge step in the right direction for being more efficient on the front-end development side. So it's pretty exciting stuff. That's the demo, essentially. Yeah! Woo! All right, cool. Advantages. What are some of the advantages that we just experienced? Instant results, obviously. All of our changes we made, we saw right away. Stronger foundation for version control. So important. So now we've abstracted away the dependency on static resources, and we are working with our CSS and JavaScript files locally. So now we can create a Git flow going to a tech lead or whoever our development manager is, and they can handle the merges and ship that up in a static resource. Collaborative development, no longer an issue. All of our development's local. We're no longer stepping on each other's toes. No more disruptions. No more going to the page and everything's broken. You're like, hey, I didn't do that. Maybe I did. I don't know. Who knows? Tooling integration. So we already saw the deployment of static resources through the terminal that is built on top of JS Force, but anything and everything you could possibly want is either already in the Node Package Management community, or you can make it yourself. So the possibilities are endless. You just gotta get creative. Last but not least, it's so much fun. It's probably the most fun I've had doing front-end development every day. It's just a blast. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that worked. That's crazy. Wow. All right, so that's basically it. That concludes, and we're now going to go into our Q&A. So if you have any questions, now is the time. Yes, sir. One more time. I'm not sure about the whole Python integration, but here's that little cool pen for you. Yeah, but Webpack's all on the front end, or it's a configuration tool basically. It's just JavaScript saying like, hey, JavaScript do this, hey, JavaScript do that. So it's not so server dependent, I guess. I don't know if that answers your question. I can probably follow up with that. If you want, my business card is right there. So if you want to shoot me a message, I'll be more than happy to get some more info for you. All right. Yes. You don't want a business card? It's got a really cool pen. It's like different red, blue, green, black. Okay. There you go. No question? No questions. All right. Yes. Yes, sir. We are currently building the library. It's not quite ready, but I definitely want to get this up. It's going to be my mission the next week and a half, 2 weeks, to really get this up and at 'em. And as a developer, the community is so strong. I've been leaps and bounds because of everyone else. So it's really important. If this is a way to help people, I want to get this out and moving and grooving. So here you go, sir. Oh, there you are. I'm sorry?
If we have to play with this, how do we get this?
That's we're going to get that into a library, and we're going to get that hopefully soon enough the next 2 weeks. If you want to, it's not up there right now. I'll put it back up. But easy static resources hashtag and the at John Schleicher. That's my Twitter handle. It's probably hard to put in there. Yes, sir.
Quick question. You mentioned about resources, static resources. Are there any specific types of resources which can only be used in this context? Because the example you showed was of a CSS class, right?
Yeah, CSS and JavaScript. Yeah.
So that's all. Can we use images?
There is an image loader through Webpack. I've messed around with a little bit. I couldn't get it working exactly the way I wanted to, but it was only like stepped in and stepped out. Like I just wanted to finalize this bad boy, but that's just it. Anything you want to start putting in there, you can. So especially with the JS deploy, I'm sure you can deploy images through there as well. So yeah, there you go, sir. Thanks. All right. Any other questions at all? Comments, concerns? Yeah. Everyone enjoying themselves at Dreamforce? Ooh, good times, good times. All right, cool. Well, I guess that is it. I mean, we still got 6 minutes here. It took a lot longer in the dry runs, so I was talking fast today. But yeah, if there's no more questions, oh yes, sir. That's a great question. So we're kind of coming across the Salesforce DX world, which is going to be a huge deal. It doesn't really change things though. So we're still going to be, I think, the little bit that I know about Salesforce DX is still going to be spinning up an org. So we're still going to need to have that flow control going from one org to another org, and handling those different changes and making sure that we're, I don't know, that we're not losing any changes in version control. So, yeah. Any other questions at all? All right. Yes. That's what we were just talking about. Sorry. Yeah. So we will hopefully be putting together a GitHub library pretty soon, and making this available as a Node Package Managed library. But it's not quite up yet. There's still some things we want to tweak out and get some documentation ready so anyone can come up and start using it and get ready to go. But another business card and pen. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.